Knock, knock. Anyone home, Mrs. Smith? Hello? This is his Big Bear Ron. I told you I would make a video, and in response to the question you asked, how did we meet? Okay, let's see. I'll try to get this done in less than 10 minutes. I think I've told it before in a video way back, but I'll tell it again, so it'll be a more recent video and easier to find. But anyway, several years ago, I began chatting with Yahoo Chat. I guess it's been 5 or 6 years ago when I started doing that. And back then, Yahoo Chat had what was called user-made chat rooms, and a person could make their own room in which people could join them in chat. And anyway, I joined a particular Asian-styled chat room, and I ended up there, I guess, because I had been visiting several, and it turned out that was the one I enjoyed the best conversations. But anyway, and it was in that chat room that I actually met my best friend who lives in California now. He would get on there and he would play music, and it was always music that to which I said to myself, that sounds like something I would play, and next thing you know, we're talking about the music selections, and then we're talking about all sorts of other things, and within a couple of months after starting that conversation, I booked a flight to California to go visit with them, and we spent the weekend getting to know each other better, and we really had a good time. But also, in there, I began to meet people from the Philippines, and one of them was a friend of Lil Bear's, and then through him I met Lil Bear, and I also met another mutual friend. And how they were friends, they were all med school students, and so they had a circle of friends there, and I was basically getting to know all of them. And and there were some other friends, too, that were not mutual of ours in the Philippines, but not too far off. They were all inviting me to come to the Philippines if I wanted to, and we had talked about it in well over a year, and we had talked to each other on, cam to cam, and I'm talking about hour-long conversations, just really exploring one another's lives, and we just had the really best time online, and next thing you know, we're talking on the phone with each other, and so I decided, well, why not? I decided, and it was my very first trip abroad, so I booked a flight, and the next thing you know, I'm on the plane, and I'm on my way over there. And I have to tell you that my friends there looked after me, oh gosh, so well. I mean, they made sure that I was safe, and that the foods and the water and the drinks that I had was safe, and because I was in foreign territory, and it could have been easy to get lost. Manila, the Metro Manila, Philippines is very heavily populated. It's like New York City, and if you don't know your way around, you could get lost. But anyway, but they looked after me all the time. Well, we decided to go out to eat, and we had some, now Lil Bear was not yet with the crowd. He had to tend to some matters, but the rest of us were eating dinner, and then after that we decided we would go to a Starbucks coffee shop. And while there, Lil Bear came to join us, and that was actually my very first time. I'd seen him on cam before, but I met him there in person, and immediately there was like a spark that went off between the two of us. Now, before meeting up at Starbucks, I did have a chance to talk with him on the phone there. And one thing that struck me about Lil Bear was that he sounded just like someone from the United States. I mean, Filipinos generally speak English as well as their own national country, Tagalog or Filipino. But all of these friends of mine were speaking English so very well. But Lil Bear was the best and still is among them all. And anyway, so I could tell that he was enchanted also, and so we just had a wonderful time drinking coffee and talking and getting to know each other. And through all the conversation, we planned to do some trekking and go do some swimming. And then next thing you know, we're deciding let's take a bus ride up to a place called 8 Waves in Bulacan, Philippines. And I was willing to go alone just to go there because I was going to meet up with another friend, but they wouldn't have it. And so Lil Bear volunteered to go along with me. And so we went up there, and while we were there, oh boy, I remember that. We got there only to find that the hotel was booked full. And so we couldn't get a room there, and so we had to begin asking the locals about hotels around, and there were no more buses that were going back to the Manila area, so it was either we find a motel room or we sleep outside, and it was raining. Well, we found a motel room, but we didn't stay there. We stayed there overnight, but once we got booked into the motel, we went back to 8 Waves, which is a water park, slides and a great big swimming pool with the waves and all of that. And we sat on the porch and we listened to karaoke, and we had an umbrella, over the table where we're drinking coffee and, listening to the karaoke in the distance. And it began to rain a bit, and that light kind of rain, where you can kind of hear the rhythm against the umbrella and all. And we talked for hours, and, it was just such a peaceful moment. I have a picture of it. Maybe I'll find it and put it on, include it with this video. But it was just such a refreshing night. But anyway, we did meet up with the other friend of mine who did join us there, and we had a wonderfully good time while there. Well, the next thing you know, we're going back to Manila, and the next thing you know, he's accompanying me to the airport when I have to make the return trip, and that is how we met. And we began talking on the phone long distance shortly afterwards, and again and again and again, and we continued to chat more and more and more, and one thing led to another, and the rest is history. Let me know if you want to know anything else. Take care. Bye.